All right, so you guys know we love to dive deep into the latest EV news. And it's their Tesla Model 3. Well, let's just say it's got us pretty fired up. 436 miles on a single charge. Come on. Someone sent us a bunch of articles about it.
Yeah.
And we're here to, try to figure out what's really going on.
Yeah, like is this some kind of battery breakthrough or just some really clever engineering?
Exactly. So let's start with the big number here. 436 miles. That's got to be a record, right?
Oh, absolutely. As far as EVs currently on the market, in Europe at least, it's the longest range out there.
Okay, but we got to be careful about how they're measuring that. This is based on the WLTP standard, right?
Right, the WLTP.
Which, for anyone who doesn't have that memorized,
Worldwide Harmonized Light Vehicle Test Procedure. But basically, it's way more realistic than some of the other tests out there.
okay, good. So no inflating the numbers.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Like WLTP takes into account things like different speeds, temperatures, stuff you actually deal with when you're driving in the real world.
Which is important, so you're not caught off guard.
Exactly.
But even with the more realistic testing, 436 miles, that's huge. How are they pulling that off? Is it all about this switch to rear-wheel drive?
Well, it definitely helps. Rear-wheel drive systems, they're just inherently more efficient.
How so?
Fewer moving parts than the dual motor all-wheel drive setup, less energy loss. It's basically physics.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. But there's got to be more to it than that, or is that the secret sauce?
There's definitely some speculation going around.
Let's hear it.
People are saying they might be using the same 75 kilowatt battery pack that's in the Model Y long range, the rear-wheel drive one, that is.
Interesting.
Yeah, and if they can hit that 436-mile range with an existing battery pack, well,
That's saying something.
that's some serious engineering.
It would be a smart move, too, right?
Yeah.
Especially if they're trying to keep the price down. Which, speaking of, have you seen any info on how this Model 3 stacks up against the competition price-wise? Like, are there even other EVs with this kind of range?
Yeah.
Or-
So at that 436-mile range, most other EVs in that similar price range in Europe, they're maxing out around like 300 miles, give or take.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty big difference.
So this could really shake things up.
It really could, especially with, people still worried about range anxiety and all that. If Tesla can actually deliver on this, it could be a big deal.
Okay, so range-wise, this new Model 3 sounds like in a league of its own. But a car's more than just its range, right?
Yeah.
What else can we expect from this thing?
Well, it doesn't seem like Tesla's reinventing the wheel, so to speak, with any of the other features. From what I'm seeing in these articles, they're sticking with the design refresh and the interior upgrades they rolled out last year.
Right, so we're talking about things like the acoustic glass, the improved suspension, that's all still there.
Yep, seems like it. All standard in this new Model 3. And of course, you still got all the tech.
The giant touchscreen, the ventilated seats, all
Right, yeah, all that's there. Heated seats in both rows, the whole 9 yards.
Interesting. So it sounds like they're really going all in on this idea of the, the hardcore traveler? Like they're saying this is for people who drive a lot and range is all they care about.
Yeah, it seems that way.
But I don't know, you think those existing features, are they really enough to get those hardcore travelers on board? Like, are they really not going to miss having some of the other bells and whistles that other EVs in this price range might offer?
That's a good question. I mean, on the one hand, yeah, those comfort features, the tech stuff, those definitely make a difference, especially on long drives. But then again, there are probably some people out there who would happily trade a few luxury features for even more range.
So they're sticking with the tried and true for the features, focusing on this crazy range.
Yeah.
But let's be real, the big question for a lot of people is going to be the price.
Right, because what good is a car with all the bells and whistles if it breaks the bank?
Exactly.
So in the UK, this new Model 3 is listed at £44,990.
Oh, wait.
That's a 5,000-pound jump from the standard Model 3.
So, not insignificant. Are we talking a 5,000-pound battery upgrade here? Is that normal?
Well, it's hard to say for sure without knowing all the specifics of the battery.
Sure.
But at that price, it puts this new Model 3 in an interesting position, right? I mean, it's not exactly cheap.
Right.
But then when you compare it to other EVs that have that kind of range,
It could be a steal.
it really could be. It's all about value, isn't it?
Yeah, they might be trying to redefine value in the EV market. Because, like you said, if other cars are struggling to even hit 300 miles in this price range,
It's a game changer.
it feels like a game changer. You know what's funny about this whole thing? Remember how Tesla was being all hush-hush about it at first?
Oh, yeah. They just kind of slipped it onto their website.
No big announcement, no fanfare.
Yeah.
Very un-Tesla-like.
Right. They usually have a good reveal.
It makes you wonder what their strategy is there. Maybe they wanted to, like, test the waters, see how people reacted before going all out.
Yeah, or maybe they figured the range speaks for itself. 436 miles, boom, mic drop.
Exactly. I love it. Well, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens next. Do you think this is going to force other automakers to step up their range game?
Right?
Or are they going to double down on other things and hope that's enough?
It's going to be fascinating to watch it all unfold.
It really is. It's an exciting time to be following the EV world.
For sure.
Well, that does it for today's deep dive, everyone. Big thanks to you for joining me and lending your expertise. And to everyone listening, don't forget to check the show notes for links to all the articles we talked about today. Until next time.